and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, previewing and reviewing the latest stories from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J., alongside the leader of Squash Squad, Caligula.
Could it be? Could it be? The return of the big three.
And at full strength this week, the Americans with the dust.
Why do birds poop on cars?
He's actually sounding more manly than he usually does.
Oh, eat my ass.
It was a good week for Wrestling Wit as we interviewed Carson Goldberg on Tuesday and Vicky Two Thumbs on Wednesday. Incredible interviews, incredible individuals, lots of fun content there, especially if you believe in the paranormal, and enjoy Flaming Hot Mountain Dew. This upcoming Tuesday, we got Shelby Waters, the Wave Maker, and we talked about obviously making waves and just coming off winning her first ever title, a rivalry, wrestling Gabby Gilbert, and a hell of a lot more. In this upcoming Wednesday, it's actually our first ever video interview with Brandy Lauren. Incredible chat with Brandy. I'll save the details of what we talked about for that incredible interview that you should definitely check out. But we do talk Shotzi Blackheart, the 2300 Arena, our recent trip to Korea. And a big thank you and shout out to Jimmy's World Order. You should definitely go check them out if you're in the Los Angeles area. And you could go to Jimmy's World Order dot shop for information on who they have coming up and obviously financing for them. But don't take my word for it, just some clips of those interviews. Now, can you tell us about your rivalry with Valerie Borman and Samuel Thompson?
So I've known Val for a while, and I'll give both of them credit where credit is due. They're both fantastic workers, and they know what they're doing in the ring. But man, they drive me nuts. They're coming into my hometown thinking they run the place. They do not. But they both of them, like I said, they're great wrestlers.
It was so good. Majority of the food was good. Something that was really weird was everything was sweet, and it really sometimes annoyed me because like I wanted a savory snack. I'm looking through. First thing I see, Cheetos, garlic herb flavor. I'm like, okay, garlic herb, fine, I'll go with it. Bite into it. Literally tastes like it's coated in sugar.
Oh.
Yeah. I get a bagel. It's a garlic bagel. That sounds great. Garlic bagel. Who wouldn't want that? I bite into it. It has sugar on it, and it has cream cheese in it. And it's just everything is just so sweet. And it's so aggravating.
Right, and the next Tuesday, the 13th, we got David Gomez from the Wrestling Guys store. On the 14th, we have Brad Baroni. On on Wednesday, the 21st, we have Lexi Lux, and on the 28th, we have Relentless Riley Rose. So, June is starting to beat up for Wrestling Day. Alright, I think we're done putting ourselves over. Yes, Scooter?
I think so.
It is a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. Other than obviously the 2K previews that we will be reviewing a little later tonight, the big news coming out this week is the return of CM Punk. And on Saturday's Collision, in about 2 weeks now. And that's not the thing I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the number of tickets sold. There in Chicago, they are approximately at around 7,000 seats before the announcement of CM Punk. After the announcement, they sold at least 500 more tickets. Is that a significant boost in moral for AEW that putting CM Punk on a show actually sold more tickets? Needless to say, it was Chicago, but what say you, Cleaver?
I think we had this conversation offline a while back. It's like the CM Punk back in Chicago is not really new. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've already seen it. It's almost like Rock Cena too. You know what I mean? It's not exciting. It's not getting people back on board, and then you also have to factor in the actual shit that happened and how many people in Chicago probably turned off by it. By him at that point. I mean, it's not. I mean, AEW is always in Chicago anyway. I feel like they might as well just move it and make their headquarters in Chicago. But the fact that Punk didn't boost anything is not really surprising to me, given that although he's been in the news, he's more polarizing now than what he was before he even came back.
Let's say you, Scooter.
Well, considering I immediately said, when I called it being in Chicago. I mean, I think everybody did, though.
Yeah.
I explained this to somebody offline as where is it here? Okay, yeah, Punk returning to AEW. AEW's video gaming finally announced. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. Tony Khan prefers last-minute booking and expects to get the same rewards and payoff of long-term planning. It's clear that they're building to Punk Omega
At Wembley.
and at Wembley, and Don Callis is going to be the one who orchestrated CM Punk's return. Based on the fact that, CM Punk is the guy that got Kenny Omega suspended.
What?
So that kind of fits in there. But again, that small spike of it 500 that doesn't mean anything for that small spike in Chicago. They've filled Chicago before. They filled the Allstate Arena
with a rumor.
And now there's a definite announcement, and it's not living up to it again. You might as well have put it in another city that hates Chicago.
Anywhere else in the world?
Let's see.
San Diego,
New York, Cleveland,
Los Angeles,
Georgia,
Cleveland
LA,
again,
Cincinnati,
Denver.
Wheeling, West Virginia. Pittsburgh.
Topeka, Kansas.
The other
You know,
Kansas.
Memphis, Tennessee.
North
Vegas.
Carolina.
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Kalamazoo, Michigan. I haven't.
Lake Titicaca.
Lincoln, Nebraska. Oklahoma City. Pittsburgh.
So
Mars.
Honolulu.
if they're not CM Punk advertising for other shows that are not in Chicago, and there is a significant boost in ticket sales, would you consider that a success? Yes or no?
But what is considered success?
Was significant.
That's it.
That's a good question. Do you consider 500 tickets significant?
No.
No.
Would 1,000 be significant?
Nope.
No.
I feel like 1,000 would be somewhat significant.
The bitch selling out is significant.
Well, he did do that once, at least.
Yeah, but lightning ain't striking twice.
I mean,
No.
considering that they're at they're 7,500 compared to the fact that they had 19,000 previously.
Right.
Yeah, people don't really want to
Deal with
at least see Punk in person, because I think they're thinking about what comes after.
I mean, Kalika, you were there when they announced it. From what I saw on TV, there was a mixed reaction of cheers and boos when it came to CM Punk. Would I be
Mhm.
wrong in that?
You're not, and that's my point. Like, this isn't. This is CM Punk coming back from the scandal shit. And granted, I take it with a grain of salt in the sense that the Bucks are from Cali, but people soured on that because you got to think everybody's already had this notion of AEW was already fine before all these WWE cats came in, and then when Punk comes in and all this shit goes down, it can sour a lot of fans.
I can see that. Well, one another interesting thing about the first collision in Chicago, um, John Moxley will not be appearing at that event. He will be at an independent show. Himself and Kinosuke Cold Cutters will not be in at that show. So is that just rumor? Oh, he's not going to be there because XXX, or people making a mountain out of a molehill about that little statement there.
To me, I honestly think. See, here's the problem. Had Punk all this shit went down and they kept all that shit internally and they wasn't cutting shoots and shit on it on the TV, I could totally see the goddamn point. But you can't unsee all the shit that they did after he left. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that actually happened. So now you expect everyone to kind of be on Punk's side when everybody that they cared about was like, fuck this guy. And that is a tall ass. A tall fucking ass.
You see John
I
Moxley being on Collision when there is discussion of a brand split scooter.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Yes, they purposely let Mox take the independent booking. But think about it. Do you really believe that on the debut show of its brand new Saturday night show, a show that's going to try and take away from the WWE's PLE market, that they wouldn't have the their hardest working and most popular talents not named Buck or Omega? No. Something's going to happen at this independent show.
Well, I mean, it takes place in Ohio, so and it would be a 90-minute flight between Chicago and Ohio in order to get them and get him there. That
No.
seems
There's
unlikely.
there's going to be cameras at the independent event. And it's going to while I mean, assuming that this possibly leads to Punk becoming a member of the BCC.
Let's consider that. Would he have to see Rocky 3 in order to become a part of the BBC?
No, BCC, not the Blackpool Combat Club, not the Big Black Cock. Something's going to happen where Punk will be relishing in returning, but guess who's not there? The Elite.
I feel like
Guess where the Elite? Guess where the Elite are?
well,
90 minutes away.
They're on the same show as Max? That doesn't sound right.
No, they're going to invade it.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be part of the story.
Okay. Well, not a part of the story is Braun Strowman underwent neck surgery. His C4 and his C5 infused.
Bingo.
Is this potentially career-ending neck surgery for Braun Strowman?
C4 and C5. It's fusion surgery, so it's the same surgery that Shawn Michaels had, that Edge had, that quite a few others had. It was done by James Andrews down in Birmingham.
So there's a good chance that he's going to make a full recovery.
Yes, there is absolutely a chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kaliko. Braun Strowman going away for a while. Do you think if they put a new fresh coat of paint on him, that we might be interested in Braun Strowman when he comes back?
It's not Lacey Evans.
Nah. It depends, right? Like, they didn't take advantage when he first came back. I don't see nothing changing when he comes back after this. Unless it's like Roman's still holding the title and they're tired of him taking it away and Braun pops in and does something. But other than that, not really.
Somebody else that tried to press for the king and that maybe didn't necessarily work out too well. Brey Wyatt. And we've been talking about Bray for the last couple of weeks. Whether or not he will make a return. Um, it's now rumor and innuendo that WWE wanted him to go back to being the Fiend, because that was obviously a popular character that he portrayed, because Uncle Howdy wasn't necessarily doing it. Um, do you feel that way, Scooter, that Uncle Howdy wasn't necessarily as big of a draw as the Fiend was?
I don't think they gave it enough time to draw it out.
Well, how long is enough time? Because he
Well,
debuted
hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Meaning, I don't think they actually expected to make Uncle Howdy an actual in-ring competitor. You know, it's supposed to be this thing from The Exorcist, where it's it's a demon.
Was it? Was he?
That's what is implied. Because the name of the demon in The Exorcist is Captain Howdy. So having Uncle Howdy appear standing next to Brey Wyatt in full view of all of us, that destroys the illusion. Yeah, and tells us for certain that Bray is not Uncle Howdy. They didn't do enough in-ring stuff to make Uncle Howdy's eventual reveal worth waiting for.
Do you think if he had more matches in between October when he came back to January when he did actually have his first match, that it would have had some type of impact on things?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we'd have another consistent main eventer. We would. God damn it. Why they didn't put him in more matches, we'll never know. But honestly, I'm not even sure at this point.
You have anything to add, Kaliko? Did we lose Kaliko?
My silence says it all. Because to me, it's like, I mean, to be quite honest, it's like when Roman came back, they drew it out, right? Like, if they had afforded that same patience. But I also think it's also our fault because we're fickle as hell. And the moment that he came back, we were like, we want the Fiend. And he's like, I'm trying to give you filet mignon. No, we want the Big Mac. And it's like, well, shit, no, there's that. You know what I mean? So
But is
it's give and
filet
take.
mignon good if you don't cook it right?
Well, it can't be good if they don't give them time to cook it.
Fair point. Alright,
Hot dogs are already technically cooked.
um, another bit of WWE news. Clarissa Shields, I believe she is a Olympic gold medalist in boxing. Is
And
going
the
to
and undefeated, undisputed heavyweight boxing champion in 3 different divisions. Put some respect on that girl name. From Detroit, by the way.
well,
Flint. Flint.
she's looking to make a WWE run, or at least interested in pursuing it. Um, like Kaliko said, she's very decorated, and obviously people know who she is. Maybe a little bit more than a Chad Gable Stevenson. Um, could Clarissa Shields become a major attraction for WWE and a la Ronda Rousey? Kaliko?
Um, her time in MMA will tell me whether she can, because training in boxing is totally different than training for wrestling. Because boxing is more footwork and angles to strike at a point more so than moving your body to get your body to do what it wants to do. So it's two totally different sports. I think her and because she is slated to sign and actually fight in the Professional Fighters League, the PFL. So that will give me a better indication if she can, because the MMA she has to incorporate wrestling, jujitsu, um, actually moving her body and maneuvering and actually putting it in positions. So that will be my indicator more so than anything else.
Hypothetically speaking, if she formed a tag team with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler and called themselves The Shield, would that work?
Well, then those two would be the workhorses hiding Clarissa, literally.
Anything you want to add, Scooter?
They if they're gonna recruit the female Olympic stars, we need a female Kurt Angle.
Well, isn't that
A Kurt Angela.
A Katrina Angle.
you're not Angle, there you go. But I mean, they are looking. Actually, did they sign Tamara? What's on call it? We talked about it a couple weeks ago on the show.
Who? Wait,
Hold on, what is her name? Something Tamara, her name is. Yeah, I don't remember. But she's actually she won the gold medal in wrestling with Gable Stevenson, and she's slated to be in WWE.
Tamara Mensa stuff,
Yes, something stuff.
which is funny because hey, they already have a character with the last name of Mensa. So
And let's go
um,
with Tamina. And Tamara. Tamina and Tamara.
mm, never let this man book.
Are we doing sister sister or something? What the hell?
Yes, we are.
No, it's a porno parody. Sister, sister,
Will you stop it?
will you start it?
Mom's gonna submit. That's what they say.
Ron,
This is
Ron reopening it under new management.
speaking
Um,
of Continue.
Oh, well, I don't know if you were going to get to another piece of WWE news.
Well, the one that I was getting to was that NXT Battleground, which we are not reviewing, was actually pretty well reviewed by journalists and fans alike, for being the best 2.0 pay previews that, well, PLE, that they've done in this era. My question would be, if you do a good PLE in the woods, does anybody see it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so.
Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
And
It was good. It was it was good. I mean, it wasn't it wasn't no, it wasn't above. It wasn't above average. It wasn't below. Uh, it was. It told the line.
did you see it, Kaliko?
Yeah, I saw it, but then again, I'm all on Mello, so I'm a little biased. So basically, Scooter's saying it's NXT melancholy. Uh, but but it was good. I mean, it was good compared to the others. I mean, even the one in LA was because no one was really paying attention to the story. I mean, they're building stories out of it, right? And they're changing people's personas. Because Mello was a face, now he's a heel. Beaker was a ace, now he's a heel. I got those. It's all tipsy turvy. And Stratton is like, But, I mean, they did the job, and that's all you can do.
You think this could be an upswing for NXT to actually build some traction from just for fans?
I think honestly, NXT was meant to train these motherfuckers, and it happened to got so popular that that it became unstoppable. They became a victim of their own success.
Very true. Scooter, you were saying something?
I was gonna uh, add another piece of news.
Yeah, what's up?
Uh, someone someone is out. Someone is out for quite a bit of time with an injury. Uh, Someone we've been wondering about and where they've been, and it's Alexa Bliss.
Yes,
She is out with a child.
this is correct. And unfortunately, Tay Mello has been stricken with the same injury.
I'm wondering how Alexa Bliss's 5'1" frame is going to be able to carry a child that weighs more than 6 pounds. Because once that happens, that child is gonna displace that cervix.
Oh, wrestling with getting way too graphic.
Uh, I mean, that baby's gonna be a C-section baby.
Either
That'd
way,
be an interesting. But Bray Wyatt was supposedly was the return was written with Alexa.
well, look,
Um,
first and foremost, will you stop it? Second of all,
no. First off, no, that actually is a thing. when the female has a tiny frame, as in 5 feet and under, if they are pregnant with a child that weighs too much that they cannot deliver, typically, it actually causes dysplasia of the organs.
Well, anyway, big congratulations to her on having the baby, and Carmelo as well. And if she does come back to pro wrestling after this, I think it
She
might.
is. She has.
I think it would. It's maybe the career renaissance she actually needs because she's been so associated with Brey Wyatt, and it has so affected her character wise in the last like 3 years that if she just comes back as Alexa Bliss or as maybe a new version of Alexa Bliss, maybe having a baby exercise the demon that was Bray Wyatt. Maybe Christopher Daniels was a big part of it. Who knows? But hopefully it's a positive. It's a positive thing all the way around. No, Kalika?
Honestly, I think it just broke the hearts of all the fans who thought they had a shot.
I thought that when she got married, that would have destroyed that.
Yeah, marriages last about as long as they don't last as long as they used to. Trust me, I would know. But human sacrifice here, so I get it.
Alexa has picked out a name for the child. It's going to be named Larry Steve.
And obviously, like I said, congratulations to Tim Mello, and Sammy Guevara. Oh, this just in. Sammy Guevara, on to a new wife. Alright, on to exciting a bit of news. Goldberg has been challenged to a match for his retirement match.
Who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
Ryback. Ryback
Oh
has
god.
opened the challenge towards for Goldberg. He said that he will be able to return to pro wrestling this summer and do the gauntlet bout with Goldberg. Is this a sellout main event in any city that it's advertised, Cody?
No.
Scooter?
Why?
Nope.
So this won't sell out Wembley. This won't
No.
pack 90,000 into Tokyo Dome.
It wouldn't even sell out Kroger's. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's a good one. And yes, we already talked about that. And the last bit of news: Billy Corgan did an interview, and he said, "You aren't a wrestling fan if you aren't watching Titus."
Huh.
Scooter,
If you ain't watching, who?
Titus.
Brodus Clay.
I mean, maybe if you watch Fox News, but shit.
Somebody call my mama.
So are we not wrestling fans anymore? Are we like sports
I
enthusiasts?
guess I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. Because,
Oh,
I mean,
sports
first of
ball.
all, okay, I got so much. First of all, they need to find a channel where I can watch the motherfucker first. Let's,
YouTube.
let's bake step it. What?
Yeah. NWA back on YouTube.
I mean, that would have been nice to tell everybody.
Complete with ECE.
But I
Or
mean, obviously Cyrus is the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. But I mean, yeah, no,
Maybe so.
Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Can you repeat the question? You're not the boss of me now.
You're not so big. Life
so
is unfair.
are we joining this Jericho Appreciation Society at this point? Are we sports entertainers?
The epitome of sports entertainment.
Yeah. Wrestling with no, sports entertaining with. Didn't necessarily have the same name, but yes, that's what we are now. Sports
Hey,
entertaining with.
hey, you know what? Hey, won't stop me from buying my copy of AEW Fight Forever. Available June 29th.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it unless CM Punk's in it.
If you want a game that
Good luck.
plays, if you want a game that looks like Here Comes the Pain and plays like a lesser version of No Mercy and WCW Mayhem combined, you want AEW Fight Forever. A wrestling game that is finally giving the fans what they want. In-ring mini games. And no, we're not just talking about tap this button. No, there's fucking Simon Says. There's dance offs, and there's character specific mini games. So yeah, I want to thank our sponsor, nobody. But yeah, Tony, come on, float me a copy.
I think that will conclude the news for now. And now a quick word from our actual sponsors. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low calorie, no sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more win.
use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with WWE Night of Champions 2023 review. Took place in the city of Boba Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and
Turn to the Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
it was at the Pontiac Silverdome, and the attendance was 13,000.
It was the Astrodome.
Kind kind of feel like there was a lot more people than 13,000, but there you go. Um, it's pretty cut and dry, but I mean, there was a quality to the matches at least, and that was entertaining. That was my overall view of the show. What was your thoughts on the show as a whole, Kalika?
Other than the fact that I had like a gang of mimosas prior to it, I think it was a good show. I mean, honestly, the PLEs don't really miss because it continues the story. So as long as they do that, that's all I need done. As long as they understand that assignment, I'm happy.
As a whole, Stuart, what do you think of the show?
On the whole, I thought it was good on my whole. Um, it it was an on par show. Uh, it it was really wonderful watching Sami Zayn enter and him entering into a country that was at war with his ancestral homeland for a long time.
Right.
Um,
And obviously, Sami Zayn, brokered the deal between Saudi Arabia and Syria to have peace, so he could come and perform for them. So,
yeah. Zayn for uh, either head of the United Nations or Secretary of Foreign Relations.
right, let's get into the matches. The first match, the tournament finals for the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship. Seth freaking Rollins defeated AJ Styles in 20 minutes and 40 seconds. When you have AJ Styles and Seth Rollins in the same ring, how could it not be good, right, Kalika?
I mean, it was good. It was solid. I think it could have been better. Yeah, but I think that's probably because AJ just getting back. Don't want to push it too much. Everybody kind of figured who was going to win. I mean, to me, the Georgia in me was like AJ Styles. The fan in me was like Seth Rollins. And
So, it wasn't necessarily. I think like I would say it would maybe take a little less good enjoyment out of it, knowing that Seth Rollins was just going to win win the match for obvious reasons. But what say you, Scooter?
Uh, Styles and Rollins, always deliver. Uh, the fact that they were building on the history of it, uh, their time in Ring of Honor, um, was great. Um, it was it was a good match. Not necessarily not a I would say it's exactly 4 stars, but it was decent for what it was trying to do.
How many stars do you give it, Scooter?
I will give it 3.5.
Kalika?
3.5 because you knew who was going to win.
Yeah, I'll give it 3.5 as well. Didn't go on further. Alright, the next match, Trish Stratus defeated Becky Lynch in 14 minutes and 50 seconds. Wasn't necessarily beginning the match, it kind of seemed like the crowd was dead after the Seth Rollins match. I mean, they should have been cheering for that Pro Bills ring gear that Becky Lynch wore, but hey, I digress. Um, it could have been better, but I liked the ending that they brought Zoe Starks in to interfere on behalf of Trish Stratus. What say you, Kalika?
It did put a wrinkle in it, and it made it to where the match, because the thing was, if Becky had a won, then there would be no reason.
Right.
The story understood the assignment, for lack of better terms.
And it essentially brings Zoe Starks up to have big profile matches with Becky Lynch, obviously protect Trish Stratus and progress the storyline. What say you, Scooter?
Uh, Again, another match that was good. It wasn't. It was, but again, it wasn't above expectation.
How many stars you give it, Scooter?
I will give it 3.
Kaliko?
Uh, 3 1/4. It gave Zoe somebody. It brought Zoe into the limelight without being dull, which is hella help for women nowadays.
I will give it 3 stars as well. Alright, Gunther defeated Mustafa Ali to retain his Intercontinental Championship in 8 minutes and 35 seconds. What's your favorite fruit, Kaliko?
That wasn't a squash. That was a murder scene. Cause I swear to God, I was the way he threw. When he threw Mustafa Ali across that pole, I was like, God damn, just throw the towel. I felt like Rocky 3. Throw the towel. Rocky 4. Throw the towel. Just throw the towel. Because that's exactly what I need. Yeah, boy.
I just want to know, did it contain seeds or not?
I mean, shit. It didn't need a seed. He rolled him up like a blunt. No seeds.
Oh my god, Scooter.
Mm, yeah. Uh, this was Arabian Nuts.
How many stars do you give it, Scooter?
Uh, I give it Dirka stars. Um, 2.5.
Kaliko?
The only reason I even give it 3 because when Mustafa Ali had a little hope, the whole crowd was like, "Wow!" Right? And then Gunther just murdered him and just called it a day.
Yeah,
So
Nope.
going home now.
3 for the crowd. 3 for the crowd.
I give it 2.5. Alright, the next match, Asuka defeated Bianca Belair to win the Raw Women's Championship in 15 minutes. A solid match. Obviously, Asuka and Bianca are incredible athletes. I just didn't feel as emotionally as invested in this one because the moment was WrestleMania. It wasn't winning the championship. Asuka's won a million championships from the best of them on every other day of the week. other than WrestleMania Day. And that's kind of what took my enjoyment out of this match. Okay, Asuka's champion again. Great. She dethroned Bianca. Great. Okay, what is she doing next year at WrestleMania, honestly? Scooter.
Mm, are you asking me what she's actually doing at WrestleMania next year?
I mean, essentially,
Or, well, she's losing, clearly.
obviously, if we'll continue on the trend of Bianca and Asuka.
I mean, again, I'm still wondering why the hell they decided it was a chili pepper mist, and yet it doesn't burn the shit out of Asuka's mouth.
The mouth is coated in a special ingredient that prevents.
Okay, Homer. Um, Also, why haven't they switched the belts?
What do you mean?
Asuka's being promoted as the Raw Women's Champion on SmackDown,
Correct.
and vice versa.
What's your point?
They made a big deal of it last time when the champions exchanged the belts.
I mean, Vince isn't there anymore.
Oh yes, the Raw Women's Champion of SmackDown. Yes. So now it's going to be the Raw SmackDown Women's Championship and the SmackDown Raw Women's Championship.
You are correct.
Oh, totally not complicated at all.
The letters, the letters blue will be uh, put in red.
The letters blue. I didn't know blue was a letter.
The letters in blue will be in red. Yes.
Um, I'm kind of surprised they pulled the trigger on taking the belt off Bianca.
I mean, somebody that held the championship for over 300 days needed to lose it at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
What say you, Kalika?
I think he dropped out.
Oh, well, we will get back to Kalika when he comes back. Other than that, what? How many stars did you give this one, Scooter?
Another 3 stars.
Yeah, I'll give it 3 stars. Yep. Kalika?
There we go.
There you go. Your thoughts on Bianca and Asuka? Oh, did we lose Kalika again?
Mm, doesn't look like it.
Kalika?
He
Yep.
now we did.
Yeah, he lost. Oh, and here he is, back from the dead. Kaliko. Can you hear me?
Blink twice if you can hear us. I said blink, not whistle.
You're being joined by a cricket.
With supersonic jetpacks strapped to my legs.
Wait.
Now, let's see this again. Let's try this again.
Here we go.
Jeez. Now, as I was saying before all this, probably didn't hear none of it. I understand that you were upset with Bianca winning at Mania. I think a lot of people were, but I think Bianca's entrance and the girl's mother dying the day of the performance kind of had a little oomph on it, and that's why that I think Bianca retained. I think it was more of a monumental moment for that girl than Bianca. But when Asuka turned heel, they understood the assignment and won the belt. In order for things to change, you must change, right? Now, with Asuka winning as a heel, I just think, because to me, Asuka never loses because she can't fight, right?
Right.
So to me, if they give her this heelish attitude with the "I will whoop your ass" attitude with that she had in NXT, we could get the Asuka that we had before Charlotte fucked it all up for everybody.
How many stars? How many stars do you give this one?
3.5 because the storyline, it actually made sense.
Alright. Next match. Rhea Ripley defeated Natalya on her birthday in 1 minute and 10 seconds to retain the Raw SmackDown Women's Championship. Coleco, what's your favorite food?
If it's under 2 minutes, is it really a squash?
I mean, it was 1 minute 10.
I mean, I feel bad for Natalya. It literally made me feel bad for Natalya. Because I'm on the record. I think Natalya is probably the most underrated wrestler ever. The right wrestler in the wrong era. And by the time all these girls got their shit together, she's already out the game. They already pushing her out the paint. And yeah, it's just like damn. I felt more like damn than anything else. This is like damn.
How did you feel, Scooter?
I took a piss and then it was over.
I went to get something to drink and it was over. Alright,
I was pouring my mimosa and it was over.
how many stars do you give it, Coleco?
I mean, it was 1 minute 10. I can't rate, not rated, not applicable.
I mean, I'll give it one 1 star and 1/10 for every minute and second that they were in the match.
I will give it one shiny turd up.
Next match, Brock Lesnar defeated Cody Rhodes by technical submission in 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Well, it wasn't a bad match. Obviously, there's good storytelling being told. I kind of feel like they're just using the sympathy card for Cody at this point. They're trying to recreate what happened at Hell in a Cell last year, but with Brock Lesnar. And it's just not hitting as well. I mean, I've seen like about 50 memes on Reddit about, oh well, Cody's gonna be in a full body cast the next time they wrestle. He's gonna be in a wheelchair. It's going to be worse than a spontaneous combustion is gonna happen in the ring.
Hey, that's my gimmick.
Exactly, gimmick infringement. I just wish that they would do. Cody's a strong fighter. He could hang with Brock Lesnar. That could just be the story there. And it doesn't seem like they're going that route. That's my personal feelings on it.
I don't think. Look, if you're looking at this legit, that Cody could stand toe to toe with Brock in a fight. That being said, I'm pretty sure that the that booking is monitoring the subreddits and blogs and tweets, and they're trying to subvert the logical things to do with Cody. Okay, Cody comes back and wins the Rumble, but no, they think he's the one to end Roman's reign. Nope. Oh wait, he can't get a rematch. We'll put him with Brock Lesnar and have Brock turn on him, which clearly could have seen coming a mile away. Even Stevie Wonder could. And then, you have Cody beat Brock in their first match. I didn't think that was going to happen.
I don't think so either.
And now, with Money in the Bank, it's like, Money in the Bank belongs to Cody. Nope, it does not. Simply because they want another blow off match with Brock, which at this point it can't be Hell in a Cell. It can't be
a Hell in a Cell match at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be a Last Man Standing match. What? Like, I mean, unless it's going to be a literal British gimmick match.
A Danny Brooke match.
It's the only other match I could see it being is either an Ultimate Submission match or an I Quit match.
Oh God, neither sounds like a fun way to end this.
See, I think they're trying to get the most out of Cody in terms of what hasn't been done before Cody gets a run with the belt, because now Cody's story continues indefinitely. So I'm not sure if they meant to do this on purpose, but now if and when Cody becomes champion, it's going to be a surprise.
What say you, Kaliko? Did we lose Kaliko?
No. But personally, honestly, everything he said made sense. Because to me, I think they have a pulse on the reaction of people when people finish a story. Like when Kofi Mania happened, people were already like, okay, on to the next story. Right?
Right.
So honestly, with him, and Triple H said it best, sometimes the story doesn't finish when you want it to. The story, something that you really want will never happen when you want it, but it'll always happen on time. And for Cody, it's going to happen on time because I don't see him winning Money in the Bank. I see Brock. I see this thing going to SummerSlam.
Oh yeah.
Um, so it gives, and he's on Raw, which he still has to finish something with Seth.
Correct.
So right now, Seth is fighting champion face Seth. In
Yes.
order for him to finish it with Seth, Seth has to go heel.
Correct.
So think that through. The story was never with Roman. I don't know why people thought he was going to beat Roman. The story was never with Roman. The story was with Seth. It just happened to be Roman because Roman had the belts and they just couldn't think of any other way to get them bitches off of him. Or one of them bitches off of him. So now, since they're back to the two belt split, now they could actually run it the right way. Which to me is a Seth Cody Mania title match.
But do you turn Seth heel even though he's incredibly hot at the moment? Or do you call it, or do you say, hey, these guys are both faces, and then you decide?
I think they're gonna go. I'll put it this way: if it doesn't happen by then, they're just gonna be like, "You decide." Because the problem is that Seth never really was a face in the first place. People just like the theme song and the fact, and in his defense, he has a cultish following as well.
This is true.
So, eh, so it's just a byproduct of people were like, "Oh my God, this dude needed a title run and he couldn't get it because Roman was hogging it all." And now, when you get to the point where Seth has the title run and can actually legitimize the titles, that's when Cody pops in the picture. Because I don't expect Cody to pop in the picture for another 9 months. Because he's going to be busy to SummerSlam,
Yeah,
and
he's gonna be
he's
busy
going to have
with
to
Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss will give birth to Cody.
pretty much.
Yes.
But so he's going to be busy to get himself back up there. And to me, that's pretty good because to me, it's a page out of the New Japan callback play style. And I like that when they do that because the rematch wouldn't have done shit for him.
Right. Alright, how many stars do you give Cody and Brock this time around for the show?
3?
Scooter?
Uh, 3.5 because it ended via technical submission, the best kind of submission.
And I give it 3 stars as well. Alright, and that brings us to our main event. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeated Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa to retain their undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships in 26 minutes and 25 seconds. Everything about this hit. Just with Sammy coming out, and speaking to the people in another language and
Farsi. Is it Farsi?
No, it's Arabic.
one of
Arabic,
the
okay.
languages.
Arabic.
I'm not trying to get killed here, guys. Um, and then obviously the match itself was actually pretty good as well. And then the whole story, the bloodline can bust literally on the 1000th day of Roman's reign. You can't write better shit than that. And when you say at WrestleMania, oh, I'm pissed Roman won, and then you see this, it kind of lightens that aggravation at that point because this was good shit. What say you, Scooter?
I absolutely agree. This was something that it hit. It literally was great on every aspect. Storytelling, action, making the bloodline vulnerable. It fired on all cylinders.
What say you, Kaliko?
There's been a lot of stories in WWE, but I've never seen a story in which a 3 year story captivates. Honestly, this might be the best story they've done ever. But because as much as people hate Roman having the belt, everything is so relatable, and I love how as long as it took for them to get to the peak, it's going to take as long for them to dismantle. It's not like a demolition. It's brick by brick. The same way it was built brick by brick, it'll be taken apart brick by brick. And that's how it should be. I mean, and everybody's won an outsider to kill Roman, but to pun him, Rome is killed within. It's never killed without. It's always killed within.
Mm.
And that's what's gonna kill him. It's the family, because now it, it's pretty much the blood, the how's it, mixing family with the business, and now it's about to figure out what's fit to go down. What's more important, family or the business? But Jimmy's face, man, when he kicked him and he screamed, it felt like a long time coming. It felt like someone who got abused, to be quite honest.
Oh yeah.
And Jay played it fucking great. He had that look like we about to get a whooping type shit. like Jimmy did something, and the parents are literally right outside the driveway coming in the house. Like we are fucked. Like he knew they were fucked.
The thing
So
about it is, oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
no, go ahead, because to me that's what got me into it. It's just I relate to that on all cylinders with family. It's just
It it given what happened on SmackDown last night, I'm convinced that they don't. They're really unsure about making Roman himself vulnerable because we got another bait and switch with Solo faking out Jimmy and Jay and siding with Roman. So it they're scared. They are terrified.
You know,
now. Here's what I'm gonna say to the defense of that. I don't think Roman has to be vulnerable in order for it to happen because of the fact that it's his ego, right?
right.
The ego is what's going to get him. It's not the fact that he started this by himself, and it's going to come around to the point where he doesn't need him, and that's what's going to get him. To me, it's not the fact that he's running around scared. It's the arrogance is what gets him there, and the arrogance is what's going to destroy him.
Right. And we've seen that. Like every match that he's had, we defending the championship, he's barely scraping by to win those matches. And what gets him over the edge, gives him the edge advantage. Well, it's the Usos, it's Solo, it's some type of outside interference that gives him that little push to win that match. But what happens when that edge isn't there? But my question is, the real the story here is Jay and Roman, obviously. Can you see Jay winning the championships from Roman?
Oh, now it's championship. Let's make that
Yes,
clear.
championship. Yeah. Can I?
Uh,
Yeah, I can because he was the guy. It's gonna have to be him because he was the guy that was against this in the first place.
Right.
It's gonna have to be him. And unless they're going to play an angle in which Jay causes him, which causes him, Roman and Jay to tussle. But if that is not the case, it has to be Jay.
I agree. Alright, Scuro, how many stars do you give this one?
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it 4.5.
Kalika?
Five, just because of the story. It was just you can't. Everything played right. And little side note, Sammy, man, this motherfucker got two hometown entrances in 1 year. CM Punk can't even get that. Just saying.
Very true. Um, I'm I'm torn between 4.5 and 5. So you know what? It was good shit. I'll give it 5. Alright, that was actually thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. Scooter.
Thumbs thumbs up.
Kalika.
PLE's continued. Thumbs up.
I feel like this was a thumbs in the middle type PLE, but with everything that happened with the bloodline in that last match, this is 100% a thumbs up. Alright, that'll conclude our coverage of WWE Night of Champions. And we are wrestling with AEW Double or Nothing. It took place the next day, Sunday, the 28th, in Paradise, Nevada, at the T-Mobile Arena. It does not, it does not give what the actual attendance was, which I believe was around 10,000. Um, but just seeing some photos of the arena from the
Ten
other side,
thousand. 10,550.
there you go. Um, it didn't seem like it was. It's definitely not as full as it was last year when CM Punk and Hangman main evented. I don't believe they made a $1 million gate either. Um, and the show as a whole, I kind of it wasn't their worst paid preview, but it definitely wasn't their best either. It was kind of somewhere in the middle. My biggest problem with it would have to be that it kind of seemed like everybody was like 1 to 2 steps off. Everybody was missing their cue or not in the position that they were supposed to be in. And that just kind of really soured some of that enjoyment that I had of it. Um, Honestly, it was a one match card for me personally, and the one match wasn't as great as it could have been. But what say you, Scooter?
Mhm. It was, again, it was average. It was almost the same length of Battleground.
Kaliko?
I see the problem I have with AEW with these things is they put matches together and yeah, they're dream matches because you want to see people fight and it kind of gives you that sports feeling. But there's no, but by doing that, you're sacrificing the emotional point of it. Like to actually, because at this point, it's just like, okay, I just want to see them fight. I don't really care who wins or who loses. And that to me is like kind of off, right?
Right.
Like everybody just wants to get their shit in, and no one's really trying to go, okay, let's figure out what can we do down the line.
Would Rock versus Hogan be as emotionally satisfying if they didn't have multiple promos and confrontations before that match? If they just said, okay, The Rock's fighting Hogan at WrestleMania, and they never touched or talked the whole way up leading up to that match.
I mean, it would. That's the problem I got with the four pillars because they really didn't connect any of them, and it just felt like they just threw them all four together, right?
Right. Right. Well, let's get into the matches. Orange Cassidy won the Tony Khan forgot I was on the roster battle royal. In 22 minutes and 25 seconds, he last eliminated Swerve Strickland. Um, this was way too long, honestly, and it was just a match, just a bunch of guys that were not on the card that you probably forgot about anyway, and it was just to give Orange Cassidy another W that was unimportant, in my opinion. Scooter?
Oh, absolutely unnecessary. What? Why? You, you don't book your champion in a battle royal for their title unless there's some higher purpose. There's a reason it doesn't happen. Because it's not supposed to be believable, or at least the norm, that a, a champion can defend against 20 people at the same time and still end up retaining.
Go ahead.
It's They could have kept Cassidy out of it and made the winner face Cassidy. Why they didn't do that, I don't know. But it's mind-boggling. Just because they have the chance to do something differently doesn't mean they should, or doesn't mean they'll pay off because the other company hasn't tried them.
Obviously, there's a reason WWE doesn't do specific things. What say you, Kaliko?
I mean, I agree with everybody with what everyone said in the first incident, but my question is now, he's won it. who's taking it off of him?
Correct.
Because after that, you basically got rid of every possible contender that could happen, unless
They're
some
putting him
people
in
pop
a
back up. You know what I mean?
they're putting him in a program with Swerve and the Embassy.
But I still didn't like that. I mean, unless Miro pops back up and kicks his ass, which would make sense.
But then you're accusing AEW of making sense. And we just can't do that.
Nah.
How many stars do you give this one, Kalika?
Is too generous?
I was giving it 1, so yeah.
Yeah, 1 then. There you go. Thank you for answering my question.
Scooter?
I'm gonna give it 21 stars. Oh no, sorry, I missed the decimal point. 2.1 stars.
Alright. The next match, the unsanctioned match with special guest enforcer Sabu. Adam Cole defeated Chris Jericho by referee stoppage. I, with every fiber of my being, wanted to like this match, and I just could not get behind it. For first and foremost, Sabu's the special guest enforcer, and yet he's beating up Chris Jericho and the Appreciation Society. He fucking comes out with Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, and then after he sues all of the society out. You never see Sabu again. he's void of the match at all. Then I mean, Chris Jericho is obviously a safe worker. Nobody's denying that. But when you throw a chair into somebody's head that is known for having is literally coming off of a concussion, a severe concussion, I don't personally think that's a smart decision. My thoughts on the matter. And then honestly, the ending was as flatter than a plate of piss. It just was fucking terrible, in all honesty. And all Chris Jericho really got out of that was a black eye that was probably makeup to begin with. It just didn't have the emotional depth that it could have or should have. Scooter.
Why Sabu? Why?
He was a
There,
villain.
there, there's no, and I regret asking this, but what was the logic behind having Sabu join up with Adam Cole?
Well, they needed somebody to replace Bobby
As
Fish.
as far as we know, I don't think Sabu and Adam Cole have ever crossed paths before.
I feel like they
Um,
might have been on a show before, but that's maybe.
but there's a and I said this, I talked about this offline. There's another ECW veteran that they could have brought in that would have made a lot more sense to combat Chris Jericho and get under his skin. And that's Lance Storm.
I mean, Brent Storm is in Canada at the moment, and I don't feel like he's looking to do anything physical. And Sabu lives up the street.
Sabu doesn't live in Vegas.
Yeah, he's a
He
local
does?
boy.
Uh, you could have had you could have built off the history of the Thrill Seekers. I mean, you know, Jericho and Storm broke into this business together. Hell, they could have changed the face of the wrestling business in '94. They they they've teamed with Randy Savage in Smoky Mountain. I'm just it's like saying, oh, we're bringing in a hardcore icon, and then it turns out to be Terry Runnels. And not to mention the fact that Jericho and Strong had a Falls Count Anywhere match more than a week ago. It just this they committed too much to it, and there was no reason that this match couldn't have just been a regular singles match.
What say you, Kaliko?
That was my first question. Like, why is this match unsanctioned? What was that gonna do? That's nothing. Sabu coming in. I guess he don't get paid by the hour. None of it made sense other than the fact that they just beat up Adam Cole's girl and he's sending us for her, which could be done in a regular match. And then, like I said, like we keep saying, I got a new moniker. AEW should be all emotionless wrestling. Because none of this shit gets you emotionally attached to anything. And that's where it's like, where is the story in it? Yes, Cole has an injury. Yes, they could have had that same thing where Jericho threw the chair at Adam Cole and it causes a disqualification in which Jericho could have lost the match and still beat his ass with the chair knowing he has a concussion. That would have made more sense than an unsanctioned street fight. It's almost like they saw Johnny Gargano and Grayson Waller. It's like, yeah, let's do that.
Right. It just didn't hit the emotional buttons it could have or should have. And it should have hit emotional connect. It should have had some type of emotional connection, and it just didn't. Honestly, I'm disappointed because I like Adam Cole, and I like Chris Jericho as well. How many stars do you give this one, Kaliko?
I mean, is it worth rating? Because it's unsanctioned. 1, 2. It was just kind of all over the place.
Well, I would give it 2.5 stars. Honestly, I think that's what and I think I'm being generous with the half. What say you, Scooter?
2.5.
And Kaliko, I assume you're giving it no stars. Okay.
Ask again. Ask again later.
If
They could have put Natalia as the ref. She would have lasted longer than Sabu. Shit.
next match, FTR defeated Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships with Mark Briscoe as the special guest referee in 20 minutes. Um, this had some interesting things happening in the match. I feel like it went uh, maybe 5 minutes too long, maybe 12 minutes too long. Um, we finally got Aubrey Edwards get attacked. She got hit with a guitar by Karen Jarrett, and honestly, that popped me. um, but you did want to see what Mark Briscoe was gonna do, and that kind of made my enjoyment of the match a little bit more. What say you, Scooter?
Uh, you know, I really wonder why Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett were given a program like this when the one thing that AEW has is a seemingly almost an unlimited list of tag teams. And they do this program with Mark Briscoe as the go-between, which, let's face it, it was kind of exploiting Jay's passing a little bit. Um, the match was it was okay. You really can't go wrong with FTR. It's just there are a bunch of other deserving teams, and this. Hopefully, this is the last. Match between them and FTR. Is moving on to crap. Who said who? Damn it! Who said they wanted to challenge FTR on?
Yeah,
Damn it! I can't remember.
The Ass Boys. The Private Party. Whitney Hardy. Um, Top Flight.
Oh God! I'll remember it eventually.
Kaliko, do you remember this match?
Uh,
Bullet Club Gold.
Kaliko?
see myself twice now. Two Kaliko. Because that's how predictable my cell phone going out is just as predictable as this match. Because nothing screams predictability more than Jeff Jarrett and a title match. Sorry. I mean, we kind of knew what was going to go down before it even happened. I felt like that match should have been the equivalent to the Natalia match. See, everything has Natalia. That should have been a minute. That was 19 minutes too long.
Oh, I thought I was being generous saying it was 12 minutes too long.
I mean, ain't no way Jeff Jarrett was gonna hang with FTR in their prime.
Thank you. Scooter, how many stars do you give this one?
3.
I give it 3 as well. Kaliko?
3 because FTR did with the best that they could. They did the best they could.
Wardlow did the best he could against Christian Cage in a ladder match for the AEW TNT Championships in 17 minutes and 10 seconds. My favorite part of this match would probably have to be when Arn Anderson cannibalized the motherfucker. Other than that, it's impressive when Jeff Hardy does a swanton off the ladder, but when Wardlow does it, it's just kind of, we've seen it before. And considering that there was really like no build up or tension between anybody, it just did not pique my interest as much as it could have. What say you, Scooter?
Yeah, it really didn't. It really was not. It just did not fulfill my expectations.
What say you, Kaliko?
It was a spot fest, pretty much. A spot fest in which Wardlow was meant gonna win. I thought it was another. These were predictable matches. We kind of figured who was going to win.
I give this one. I'll be generous and I'll say 3 stars. Scooter,
I will say 3 as well.
Kaliko.
2.5.
Tony Storm defeated Jamie Hayter to win the AEW Women's Championship in 3 minutes and 5 seconds. All things considering, Hayter is injured. She had to drop the title into some shape, way, or form. It was
No,
good for what it
no
was.
interim.
Huh?
No interim.
No interim. Thank God. I felt like it was good for what it was. And it was essentially to get the title off of Hayter. There was a lot of gaga to cover everything up. And it did what it was supposed to do. And that makes it a win in my book. Scooter?
Yeah, I will say though that this match unfortunately did not make me emotionally invested when Hayter won the belt. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm wondering why this happened uh, before the secondary women's title match.
I'd say because it was because it was not technically a match, I would say. At least with Valkyrie and Cargill, there was some competitiveness to it. I'd say.
Yeah, but shouldn't have shouldn't have uh, Storm and Hayter come after the TBS Championship match.
Will should have the World Championship match come after Anarchy in the Arena?
They shouldn't have. They shouldn't have had Anarchy in the arena in the first place.
Oh, we'll go through that in a moment. What say you, Kaliko, Hater, and
The only good thing, I mean, they understood the assignment. The match made sense as who won, but other than that, it really didn't do anything. Because to me, I thought when Hater got the belt, I thought Britt Baker was going to be the one to turn and do all that shit. But
missed opportunity.
lo and behold, AEW, goddamn, no story. But
Right. I give this. I'll give it 2.5. Scooter.
Yeah, 2.5.
Kaliko.
2.
Alright, next match. The House of Black. Milwaukee Black, Brody, Bogo King, and Don't Call Me Buddy Pal Matthews. Defeated the Acclaimed, to retain the World Trios Championship in 15 minutes 30 seconds. I mean, the best part of this match was Max Caster's rap. I mean, the best part of this whole pit preview was Max Caster's rap.
Well, we have to address Buddy Matthews by his new Marvel name, Howard the Cuck.
And yeah, Max Caster was not in a good mood that night. But it definitely was an interesting rap to see the least. That being said, not a bad match. Maybe a little bit colder than it could have been. I mean, it could have been a little bit hotter. But it is what it is. What say you? Let's start with Kaliko this time.
Before I say this, let me ask a question. Has the Acclaim peaked?
I mean, it feels like that way.
It feels that way. Because there's no tuning or changing or tweaking of what they do. It's just scissor me daddy ass, and a lot of niggas scissor and daddy ass. Nothing wrong with it, but I just thought that there would be some depth or change up to it. You know what I mean? That being said, the Trios Championship to me in AEW is just like, let's keep motherfuckers happy championship, and that's what it is to me. Yeah, because they're not really building any factions to even go for it in that manner, right? They tried with the best of 7, and to me after that it kind of fell flat.
I mean, I felt like it was flat even with the best of 7 because you had to see the same ugly 6 guys wrestle every week for 7 weeks.
True, but at least they gave it, something. But then again, it was the same. That's the other thing about it. It was the people that've been fighting each other for the last 18 goddamn years. The Hatfields and McCoys. Oh, I mean the Bucks and Lucha Bros. But I don't know. I mean, I'm glad the right team won. It's just more like, are they building the advantage that they have are tag teams, and the question is, with the trios, are they depleting their tag team for the trio?
Right. What say you, Scooter?
I think trio titles are a waste of time. I think they take away from who's really supposed to get the focus, and it's just too much clutter.
That being said, I'd probably give this match, because it had some of my favorite people in it, I give it 3 stars. Scooter,
2.
Galigo,
2.
right. The next match, Jade Cargill defeated Taya Valkyrie in 8 minutes and 50 seconds to retain the TBS Championship. Honestly, not a bad match, pretty competitive, but it was as cold as ice because there was no build up to the actual match. And then it was just she lost to Cargill a couple weeks, maybe a month ago on AEW TV, and we haven't heard.
Her first,
Huh?
it was Taya's, well, probably not for a second match in AEW.
Right, and I mean,
That first title match.
And I mean, there was no build up to this match. It was just like, oh, Taya's getting getting a rematch, and that was kind of it. That being said, it wasn't a bad match, but it's hard to get into it when you know who's going to win. Kaliko.
Exactly. When you know who's going to win, right? I feel like that's the theme of this pay-per-view. Like, you know who's going to win. But they didn't give us a reason as to why Taya deserved the rematch. They didn't. For a company that sure says rankings matter, they do sure as hell give a lot of random motherfuckers title shots.
Right.
Just saying. Unless that went away when Cody left. But it didn't sell me. I mean, the best Jade sold me on was when it was with Athena, and that was like when it actually felt like some shit was about to go off in the parking lot. But that's about it.
Again, this another match that was okay, but there was no logical reasoning behind it.
Well, I think that brings us to our next match. Jade Cargill loses the TBS Championship in 48 seconds to the returning Chris Statlander. I actually called this last week that Statlander was going to come back. I didn't think she was actually going to win the whole fucking title, but she did. And I'm happy for her. But like we were talking off air, isn't coming in and winning a championship after the champion just had a hard fought match, even though it's 8 minutes, isn't that more of a heel move than a face move?
I mean, Charlotte did it with Ronda.
But do
But
you
was
really
Charlotte
consider
was
Charlotte
Charlotte the
a face?
who knows anymore? Yeah, it's a heel move.
Carlito?
It was a heel move. I mean, we were talking off air. If they were gonna do that, at least they could have had Jade whoop Taya in the parking lot, come to the ring and say, "I already whooped that bitch. She doesn't deserve a title. Give me somebody else." And then Statlander came out, and then you had the result. Because at least it would have been an opponent that she didn't see coming. You see what I'm saying? Like that would have made more sense if they were going to go with 48 seconds. Because to me, they built it for years, and now 48 seconds is gone.
They interviewed Mark Sterling after the match, and his comment was, "I can last longer than 48 seconds."
No, you can't, Mark. No, you can't. Because Statlander came back and you know what? The two J Cargill matches together are lumped into one. I give it 3 stars. Scooter,
Both matches together, 2.5 stars.
Kalika. Yep. Did we lose Kalika? Was he not here to begin?
As far as the matches, Jade is a 1. The Jade Statlander is a 1. The Valkyrie one, 1.5. I mean, what are we expecting?
So 2.5 stars.
So a whole segment, 2.5 stars, which sounds about right. 10 minutes. Star for each 5 minutes.
Now it's part one of the double main event for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. MJF defeated Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy in 27 minutes and 50 seconds. You know, the whole thing about AEW is the guys and the girls, they go too fast. They don't let things breathe and let the emotion comes in. This this match, it went too fucking slow. like the like you could have got the emotion if you just sped up a little bit and not let there just be dead air for like maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Um, I still didn't think it was necessarily bad. It still played on all of the issues that all of these guys had with each other. And obviously, at the end, MJF won, got the best of Darby Allin again with a takeover, uh, a sup- what can I see this? Headlock takeover. So it plays into the rivalry, and that it's obviously not done with Darby. Not great shit, but at least it was good shit, I thought. Kaliko?
I The match was good. I just don't. Is MJF stale with the title already? That's my thought. That's what I'd be thinking, because he got it, and I mean, don't get me wrong, he's chicken shitting the heel out, chicken shit healing the fuck out of it. with only like 3 title defenses in like 8 months. But it just feels like same old shtick with him as champ. I would have thought if I thought the shock value would have been him losing the belt and not having anything to do with it, just to swindle his way back to the title. But I guess they're gonna hold on to it for another couple months or whatever the case may be. And the thing to me with MJF is he's that guy that's the champion that you feel like anyone can beat him. Everyone can beat him. Everyone can beat him. But I say everyone can beat him. Everyone can beat him. And it just, like, name a match where you think he's like the favorite, odds-on favorite in AEW against anybody.
Natalia.
Natalia, shit, she wins. She squashes us. But I'm just saying, like, it feels,
Goldberg.
and I heard Goldberg, yeah. I mean, it's good, but only that ending would only mean something if it motivates Darby to win. And I don't think that, I think that was just a shot to be like, hey, look at the future, and eventually they'll mess with each other down the line. And yeah, that part.
Yeah, basically. I mean, way to show that you guys are the founding fathers of AEW, but you can't go on last.
Right. Set this up going on last.
It would have been the right thing to do.
Yeah, if this is the future, and in this regard, I will argue any motherfucker that's a world title match, if it's for the belt, it should be the last match. I've always been a stickler about that.
Right.
Because what's the point of having the guy if you're gonna devalue the championship match?
I give this match 3.5 stars. Scooter.
3.
Kalika.
Yeah, it was a solid 3.
And that brings us to the last match, the main event that nobody asked for. You got the Blackpool Combat Club with nobody from Blackpool. Brian, Don't Call Me Danielson, John Moxicillin, Claudio Ida Cannoli, and Dord Wheeler Utah versus Kenny Omega, the middle-aged buffs, and the one-eyed cowboy Hangman Page. In Anarchy in the Arena, 27 minutes. What did you expect? It was going to be a clusterfuck of what the fuck.
A flustercluck.
It's all the fucks. Scooter, you got anything to say about this one?
I had terrible diarrhea during it.
Should I take some moxicillin for that?
It wasn't infected diarrhea. Ew.
Kaliko, what was your bowel movements during this match?
None of the above. I just sat there and was like, violent. Oh, Moxley in a violent match. That's nothing new, right? Like, I didn't get the point of it. Like, I didn't get the point of the match.
I mean, it was
but
just like you said, violence.
just it was violent for violence sake.
Violins. Violins are bad.
Alright, how many stars do you give this to?
3.
Kalika?
2, because it was just violence for violence sake.
I'll be the middleman and give it 2.5. Alright, this whole show as a whole, um, how thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, Scooter.
2 very covered in diarrhea. Thumbs down.
Kaliko.
The Stoics would be happy with this because it was just basically a flat line of emotion. So some middle because that's what it felt like. It was just there. It was there.
I also gives it thumbs in the middle. Alright, yeah, that will conclude our coverage of AEW Double or Nothing and this episode as a whole as well. If you like what we're doing, of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment on our new cast box. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Fail Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Shelby Borders. Join us this Wednesday for our first video interview with Brandy Warren. Um, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on Twitter and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. You can follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kaliko?
And I am Kaliko, and a special shout out to my guy Eric Q. You know when Jericho threw the flame ball?
Yeah.
That was my guy Eric. He threw it at.
Oh, really?
So, okay. I was like,
Oh my
shit.
god.
I kept the kayfabe and was like, yo, is he in the hospital? I set up a GoFundMe for him for his medical bills.
We almost forgot. Matt Jackson had to obtain a special license to do that exploding super kick.
Good for him. And where can we find Scooter Dust?
As always, find me on Twitter at ScooterDust. Keep an eye out to the social medias for updates on the future of the remix and revel in my Dungeons and Dragons shenanigans, along with Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of the Smoking Dragons clan. Twitch.tv/Smoking Dragons.
Of course, for Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.